The 2016 NHL Entry Draft is coming up, and the Vancouver Canucks have just achieved their worst season points-wise since the 1998-1999 season. This season, they were second last in goals for with 191, and had a league-worst goal differential of -52. That was good enough to get them into third last in the league. The only reason they weren't last entirely is because of a few overtime losses. Because of this, the Canucks are guaranteed at least 6th overall in the 2016 NHL Entry Draft, with an 86.2% chance of moving up, a 34.2% chance of getting a top 3 pick, and an 11.5% chance of getting 1st overall. With the Canucks drafting history, this draft can potentially define the future of the organization. There are a few reasons why I say this, and the biggest reason is that this draft is a deep draft, arguably deeper than last year's. Talking about the first 3 selections, Austin Matthews and the 2 Finnish wingers Patrik Laine and Jesse Puljujärvi, if the Canucks get 1st overall, they get the defined center Austin Matthews. Very, very, very fast. Creates opportunities for himself. He's very smart in both ends of the ice with exquisite hands. The franchise center in this year's draft. If the Canucks can get 2nd or 3rd overall, they can get either of the 2 elite Finnish wingers, the two-way game established by Puljujärvi, and the deadly offense by Patrik Laine. Laine, the 6'4" sniper, creates chances from nothing with a deadly shot and a body that's really hard to get off the puck. Then we have Jesse Puljujärvi. He's no short stock himself at 6'3". He's got a lot of speed, fantastic offensive smarts, as well as defensive smarts, and he playmakes like a champ. Any one of these 3 guys would define the Canucks in the future. And who knows, if the Canucks get down to 4th overall, Benning did say that best player available applies here, and the best player available right now has been scouted as Pierre-Luc Dubois from the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles of the Ligue d'Hockey Junior Major de Quebec, aka the QMJHL. He is a big guy who's really strong. He has an all-around game and his hockey smarts are off the charts. He knows what to do in certain situations, and he knows what he can't do. He's a left winger with talent. 5th overall has been scouted to be Matthew Tkachuk, who has lost that title to Pierre-Luc Dubois. He was scouted as 4th for the entire year, but then Dubois overtook him. He's now ranked as 5th, but still, Matthew Tkachuk has been scouted before as being NHL ready right now. Some people have been saying the only reason he's not in the NHL today is because he's not old enough. He knows how to create opportunities for himself and the ones around him. He's a very deadly player to play against. Going down to 6th overall, this is where things can get a little bit shaken up, because after you get through the top 5 of Matthews, the wingers, Tkachuk, and Dubois, you get into a big territory of defensemen, as well as a few other forwards that could potentially make the jump. But Benning did say BPA is the key here, and looking at what the Canucks have, if they can't get any of the elite forwards in this draft, they will definitely go with a defenseman if they pick 6th overall. Jake Chicharrn from the Sarnia Sting of the OHL has been scouted as number 2 at the start of the year, but he has had not that good of a season, so he's kind of dropped off a bit. He's been dropping down the depth charts entirely for quite a bit. But the skills are still there. The skills that got him behind Austin Matthews at the beginning of the year are still present in his game. He's a strong two-way guy who just didn't have a good season. The only reason Laine and Puljujärvi weren't scouted as high as they are now is because they played in Finland, and not that many people knew how good they really were. Other defensemen that could take up the 6th overall spot include Jake Bean, who is argued to be the best offensive defenseman in the draft, under a point per game with the Calgary Hitmen this season, which means that he played with Jake Virtanen, Canucks right winger. Am I right? But Bean has deadly offensive talent as well, and he will definitely be a good consideration in this draft. Other defensemen to be drafted at this position include Mikhail Sergachev, Ollie Joe-Levy, Dante Fabro, or even some other leapfrogging forwards who could make the jump, such as Alexander Nylander, Tyson Jost, Michael McLeod, or Clayton Keller. This draft is a deep draft, and whether the Canucks pick from 1st or 6th, their future will be defined instantly. Although, preferably, all Canucks fans are thinking, let's get Matthews, but if we can't get Matthews, let's get the Finns. If we get Matthews, we get the franchise center in him. We get the guy who's going to be #1 come the future. Bo Horvat will move down to the second line because he's a two-way guy. He's got the skill to be elite in this league, but just not as a first liner because he's a two-way guy. Unless you're Patrice Bergeron or a Taves, you're not going to get that much first line minutes even with the elite talent that Bo Horvat has the potential to reach. If the Canucks do get Matthews as well, the center depth will be increased tremendously. Matthews, Bo, Marcus Granlund, Lyndon Vay, Jared McCann, and Cole Castles. Now, McCann has been moved to the wing a little bit at the end of the season because his face-off rating was really bad, but still, if the Canucks get Matthews, their center core just increases when it comes to depth. If the Canucks go down to 2 or 3, they can get the Finnish wingers, the future first liners for the Canucks, whoever that be. Now, Shinkarik was sent off to Calgary, and Benning's reason was they had a bit too many wingers, but the best player available is still a must when it comes to this draft, especially if the Canucks pick 2nd or 3rd overall. Canucks wingers aren't even that deep anyway. The only really good ones are Besser and Virtanen, who are both on the right wing. When it comes to the left wing, the Canucks have Brendan Gaunce, Ronald Skenins, Sven Berchi, who had a really good season, as well as Emerson Edom, who had a very, very strong end to this season as well. That's not necessarily the strongest, but it's still something that Canuck fans can improve on. Brendan Gaunce is a guy to be excited about for sure, but I don't think he's going to have the potential to reach that elite status that a Besser or some might say even a Virtanen can reach. Laine can play left and right wing, and Puljujarvi primarily plays the right. So if the Canucks can get one of these two guys, if not Matthews, their wingers will be satisfied for the future. If the Canucks go with a defender, it'll be great because they'll have that #1 guy that they will rely on in the future. Rest in peace to Luc Bourdon, who was supposed to be the #1 guy for the Canucks defensive core, but that did not work out so well. So, if things can work out very well, in the future we might have the defender we draft in this draft alongside of, let's say, a Ben Hutton, because he's going to be really good, but who else is a guarantee in the Canucks defensive prospect system? Jordan Subban, Nikita Trampkin, Andre Padan. It's really just a shuffle at this point because, aside from Hutton, I can't really name the next best defender on the Canucks. Whether the Canucks make moves to get a better future is up to Jim Benning, so we as Canuck fans are all putting our trust in him, because the future of this Canuck team could rely on this one draft and a string of 4 ping-pong balls. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of Passing to down your so I can subscribe last night in gaming, and bye.